So we just put our meat on the grill. And you may have seen during the prep phase, I have both probes from my Typhur wireless thermometer inserted into the meat. And what this is going to allow us to do to monitor not only the internal temperature inside of our meat, but also the ambient temperature inside of the grill. And let me tell you, I've had this Typhur for a while now, and I am absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it. And you may see me use different type of accessories, this and that or the other. But just keep in mind that when you're first starting off, you don't need to have these things, right? Just upgrade as it makes sense to you as you grow in your grilling game, but you don't have to start off with this. I started off, it was me in the backyard with my Weber 22-inch kettle, no thermometer, no nothing. And I was able to generate and produce some good products off that Weber and really refine and learn my skills and develop my skill to be able to cook by feel, right, without necessarily being dependent upon a thermometer. So upgrade when it makes sense to you. Now, with that being said, it's gonna be a while before we go back in here and check on our meat. So I think it'll be a perfect time for us to talk shop a little bit, and let's dive a little deeper into the topic of fire management. If you think about it, fire management is all about control. Our job as pit masters isn't just lighting a fire, it's controlling the environment inside the grill so that our food, in this case our pork roast, comes up to temperature in a steady, smooth manner. That's the key to tender barbecue. Here's why. Large cuts like a pork roast, a brisket, a chuck roast, and even a prime rib are loaded with collagen. Collagen needs steady heat over time to break down into what's called gelatin. If your temp spike too high, that meat can tighten up before it ever gets tender. And if your temps swing too low, the cook stalls and you end up waiting all day. Now, smaller cuts like burgers, hot dogs, and wings, they're more forgiving when it comes to temperature fluctuations. But for larger cuts like this, temperature stability is everything. And that's exactly where the Typhur sink shines. Not only does it graph grill temperature over time, but it also tracks the internal temperature of your meat in real time. That means you can actually see how your fire management decisions are affecting the meat throughout the entire cook. And this is important because when you spot temperature spikes on your graph, don't just panic and slam your vent shut. Instead, think about what's actually happening. This is where you refer back to the fire balance system we've talked about in past videos. Number 1, did you overload the grill with charcoal? Number 2, are you adjusting your vents too aggressively? And number 3, is your meat positioned too close to the heat? The graph gives you the data, but it's up to you to read the patterns and adjust accordingly. Remember, the smoother that line is when it comes to the internal temperature of your food, the better your chances of ending up with a tender, juicy cut of meat are. If your graph is full of spikes and jagged edges, that's a sign you need to work on stabilizing your temperatures. The goal isn't just about your grill hitting a number, right? 275, 325, so-and-so grilled at 350, let me try to hit 50. It's not about that. It's about making sure your meat's internal temperature is rising smoothly. And if you want to pick up one of these for yourself, I've dropped a link in the description below to all my recommended grilling tools and supplies. Check it out below.